So welcome to part 2 of the introduction to La Passerelle. Now I'm going to be talking to you about the program that we've put together for you. Okay, so menu du jour. Today we're going to talk about a program, the methodology that we use, and also, just a little bit of heads up in what's in it for you. So here we go. New job, this way. All right, so again, you're going to be seeing this a lot. You're going to, when you go to bed, you're going to close your eyes. This is what you're going to see. And this is like so crucial to the strategy that we're using. So basically, right now, when people are looking for jobs, what do people tell you to do? Go ahead. Yeah.
Go online.
No, go online. Exactly. You have to go online, go to our website. Guys, go to our website and apply online. So that's what we do. That's because that's what we're told to do. But if you look at the perspective of an employer, the first thing they do is they ask their people around them, if they know anybody. And then if they don't know anybody, then they expand their circle. And the last thing employers do is post. Because it's more expensive, it's time consuming, and you never know who you're going to end up with. So they're telling us to go online, but they're looking through their referrals. Now, 70 to 80% of the jobs are filled before they're ever posted. It's so important to know, because what that means is that you're applying online, you're competing with almost everybody for 20 to 30% of all the jobs. That's why you're not getting calls. That's why you apply and you don't get any callbacks. It's that simple. So what we're going to be doing in our program is getting you to that top part where people know you, so you become referred, you become a known entity. So that's the premise of a lot of our strategies. Okay. So what will you get out of the program? You get a better appreciation for your skills and abilities. We're going to be talking a lot about that. Like, what makes you special? Like, if you were a Lego building and you take it apart, what are the individual Lego blocks that make you up? It's important to know these things, especially if you're going in transition. What makes you you? So we're spending a lot of time on that. Better understanding of our personality. Now, in the recruitment process, people tend to go towards the technical. I know this, I know that, of this year, but your personality rarely comes into play in the recruitment process. But it's such an important feature of what makes you you. So we talk about our personality, our character. It's good that we know what we're about. Strengths, weaknesses, obviously. Important to know what your weaknesses are, because ideally you want a job that maximizes your strengths and minimizes the use of your weakness, so you're having much more fun while you're working. For a lot of our participants, it's about acquiring or reacquiring self-confidence. It's amazing. I think most people that come to La Passerelle, within a few months of losing their job, their self-confidence just evaporates. So we bring it back. It's not magic. You're awesome. It's just we have to remind you why you're awesome. So that comes back into play. Transferable skills, motivators, unique abilities, achievements, personality strengths, all of these things. So we talk about that. That's the first module of our program. It's all about that. But it's all about how to communicate effectively. If you can't communicate effectively why you're an ideal candidate, then you're not doing your job. So all that work to get to an interview, the pressure's on. We'll show you how to communicate effectively. It's almost 3 months of just dealing with how to communicate effectively. So specific objectives for you. Create an action plan. You sit down with your coach. It's unique to you, your action plan. It's based on your needs. It's based on the skill sets you have, and all of that put together. Sometimes the action plan is I need to work right away. Sometimes it's like I have a little bit more time. It really depends. So it's flexible based on you. We define career objectives, plan A, B, and C. A plan A, a dream job, an ideal job. If you can identify it, that's great. If you have, but you can't get there right away, then we go to plan B, something that you can get it fairly straightforward in the interview process. We go for plan B. Plan C is like, I got to work tomorrow. I got MasterCard bills to pay. It doesn't really matter what I do. I just need to get the funds in. So, we work towards a plan C, but our focus will stay on plan A, on how to get to plan A. We'll do promotional material, the resume, cover letters, business cards, which are still useful. I mean, you think post-COVID nobody has business cards, but I was at a session yesterday. It was a 5 à 7, and everybody had business cards. So we're going to do business cards as well, LinkedIn profile, all the things that you need to promote yourself. What else? We're going to work on your LinkedIn. LinkedIn, very powerful tool, not just to apply for jobs, but for networking, for doing research, and we're going to show you how to use LinkedIn beyond the obvious and how to create opportunities. Building your network, we'll do that as well, how to build a network. Hidden job market. Hidden job market, there is no really hidden job market. It's what we talked about before. It's becoming a known entity in an organization. Identifying organizations and key hiring decision makers, how to do information sessions, very powerful. How to successfully conduct a job interview. We spend a month. I'll go in more detail later, but we spend about a month just on interview techniques. And then, of course, the hardest thing, how to negotiate your package, which most of our participants have a hard time. Okay, just quickly an overview. First, we have 4 modules. First one is self-assessment, what we talked about, regaining self-confidence. We're talking about life values, career anchors, transferable skills, Myers-Briggs. We use the Myers-Briggs personality type indicator to talk about your personality types. So you'll love it. It's a really good workshop. How to become more self-aware, internal, external self-awareness, vision boarding, so you can project where you want to be, resilience, managing change, how to reduce anxiety, and how to procrastinate better. Okay, so the elevator intro. Everybody hates the elevator intro. The whole premise behind the elevator intro is that you meet somebody, you have a very short amount of time to pass on information. So what is the information that you want to pass on to people? Again, if I could just say the number one thing you should never do is ask anyone for a job. Even though it's in our second nature to go, well, I need a job, never ask for a job. It's implied. You want to talk about yourself. What are the interesting points? And we're going to go through elevator intros almost every workshop, and it's practice. And you'll be amazed how many of our participants don't believe in it and end up being believers because they did it to prove me wrong, and it works. So we'll talk about that. The MBTI, there's 16 personality types. You're going to fit into one of these. Really interesting. It's a very good workshop, and it's a good way to discover aspects of your personality, whether it's communicating with people or whether it's what kind of job you should be looking for. Excellent workshop. So the next one, strategies. We talk about strategies. Like I said, applying online, not very effective. It could be part of your strategy, but it can't be the only thing you do. So we explore ways to get you known to entities and to create your own opportunities, right? So we talk about strategies, getting the message out. So we're back to getting message out, resumes, understanding LinkedIn, how to optimize your profile, the job market, mature workers, that's all about, how to navigate the job market and how to look for opportunities that are favorable for mature workers. And just a little positive note, governments, industry are all looking for ways to keep mature workers or to retain or to recruit mature workers. That's becoming a thing now, which is kind of cool because we've been saying it's a thing for years, but now it really is. Demographically, it's just, there's no way around it. They need to keep mature workers in the workforce. How to market yourself effectively, job search strategies, creating an action plan, and reviewing your career objectives. These are all part of the second module. I hated this. When I was here, we had this. This is like your job search, managing your job search. But basically, they're saying you have to do 9 activities. So when I was here, we had to do 9 activities a day. We had to answer 2 ads. We had to do 2 cold calls. We had to do 5 information sessions a day. And I thought, it was too much. So the reason I include this is because it's important that you have a project plan. It's important that you set objectives for yourself. So whether it's 9 objectives a day or 2 or 3, you have to set objectives and do this with your coach so that you have a sense of accomplishment, because the 6 months goes by very quickly. You don't realize that 6 months, a lot of time. No, so you have to set your objectives. All right. The next one is creating opportunities. I talked about how to create opportunities above and beyond just applying online. And there was information sessions we could do. The elevator intros are so important. Trying to get to networking events, all of these things. There's a whole module about that. And then the last module I'll talk about a little later. But somewhere, somehow, someone is looking exactly for what you have to offer. We have so many stories where people just randomly did their elevator intro, and it's just happened that we were looking for exactly that. And these opportunities would have passed them by had they not taken advantage of the situation. So we're going to talk about that a bit more. We're going to get you into doing that in a very natural way. Yeah. Something we talk about at La Passerelle, but we don't really need to because it happens. Talk about magic. And magic happens outside your comfort zone. So if we're in our comfort zone, we're sitting at home, we're applying online, fine, but you have to get out there. People have to know you, you have to be seen and heard, and that's where the magic happens. So we're going to show you ways, and I'm not saying it's easy. There's some people find it really hard to get out of their comfort zone, but we make it as easy as possible. 3 important things to know about the job search process. Like 70 to 80% of jobs are not advertised. So important. How do you find these jobs? Again, it's talking to people, it's getting out there, being known. Who you know is as important as what you know. So it's about creating your network, expanding your network, talking to people. A majority of Canadians work for small to medium-sized businesses. So the large businesses, not necessarily always hiring. Small businesses tend to favor mature workers because they appreciate the fact that you bring many things to the equation, not just doing one thing. You've had years of experience and you're bringing that to the equation. They appreciate that too. You can do this and you could do that. Fantastic. And for small, medium-sized businesses, chances of talking to a decision maker immediately is much stronger than, or much higher than, if working for a large organization where you have to go through the levels of different managements and stuff. So we also work on helping you step out of your comfort zone. Introverts are super welcome, shy extroverts as well, because it's not obvious. You could be an extrovert but shy, so there you go. But introverts, will show you how to get there as well. How to get the message out, how to use LinkedIn effectively, how to use social media for job search, networking, the art of networking. I personally don't like the word networking. It has a negative connotation, so we call it creating opportunities, but basically what you're doing is you're getting more people in your network to help you out. Information meetings, connecting with potential employers, and communicating off script. We have 2 workshops specifically geared for communicating off script. Now the whole thing is job recruitment and job search is very linear. You always know what the next step is. I'm going to apply online. If I apply online, I'm going to get a call back. If I get a call back, then I might get another interview. So it's all very linear. But communicating is off script. You're going to bump into somebody. You're not prepared. You haven't rehearsed it or anything. So how do you take advantage of these situations? So we have 2 workshops based on using some improv techniques, but it's how to communicate when you're not really prepared for the event. All right. And interview prep. We spend about, like I said, about a month just preparing you for interviews. We have workshops on interview techniques. We have simulated phone interviews. We have simulated video interviews. And we're going to start doing in-person interviews as well. We have a feedback session where you get to see what your interview was like, and you also get the feedback of several other people on how it was. It's an amazing opportunity for you to excel in your interview process. And also the last workshop to finalize everything is what you're going to have to do during the first 3 months to integrate into your new job properly. Here, interview prep. So I don't know, it's tough. Interviews are tough. They're not really even natural events. So how do you master the art of interviewing without looking like you're a professional interviewee, right? So we're going to talk a lot about that. And communication, again, communication is so important, and communication runs throughout the entire program. We have workshops just about storytelling, how to get your message across in a story within 3 minutes, effectively, not without boring the people, which I'm hopefully not doing now. Of that, 7% of what communication is verbal. So just remember, 7%. The rest is nonverbal. It's about body language. It's about the tone. It's about the energy you're giving off. So we're going to be working on that to make sure that you're effective by the time you finish the program. Storytelling. I love this. So storytelling, it's the big thing. Everybody's talking about storytelling. In the interview, when they ask you, are you a good leader? Are you organized? Instead of saying, yes, I'm a very organized person and giving some candid answer, we're going to be working on stories. You're going to be coming together with your stories that demonstrate your skills, like leadership. So give me a story that demonstrates your leadership or your organizational skills or whatever. The beauty of this is that the recruiters haven't heard your story yet. No one's heard your story. It's your story. So you get to tell it, and it keeps them focused because they're not listening to something they've already heard 100 times. So it's about the storytelling. And it starts at the beginning. When we're putting our resumes together, we're already talking about the stories, and it goes throughout the whole program. Key factors for success. So, as good as we want to be and as good as we are, we can't do this alone. Like if you're not like 100% committed to this, then it's not going to work. So we need your commitment. You need to be committed for this to succeed. Your effort is very important. Perseverance, the highs and the lows. You will have lows, and you know this. Job search is hard, but we help you get back up faster. But I think the number one thing here is attitude. You have to have a good attitude. If you have a negative attitude and you give negative energy, nothing works. People aren't going to want to help, and just attract negative energy. But the attitude is important. We love this picture because it really represents La Passerelle. It's gonna seem like you have high hurdles, like you'll never be able to get to the top of that mountain. But we've done this a lot. We've been actually doing this for like 25 years, so we know how to get to the top. All you have to do is follow us, and we'll get you there. And the important thing here is you're not alone. Job search, one of the hardest things about job search is you're at home, you're alone, you get discouraged, and there's nothing to pick you up. There's no, it's just this negative spiral. So here, La Passerelle, at least we are able to like bring you to a point where you can keep going, and just the highs get higher and higher. So we're all here and to do what we can to make sure that you succeed. And again, I mentioned earlier on in one of the other PowerPoints that we hope that La Passerelle isn't just going to be an organization that teaches you how to write a resume or how to ace an interview. We would love for La Passerelle to be a part of the journey in your life, like taking a different path, going down a different track, and discovering who you really are and what you're all about, and finding meaningful engagement and employment. So that's it. Welcome to the program. Cheers.